Hello and good day everyone. Today we're going to talk about my innovative solution for the Sustainable Development Goal. So for the goal that I chose goal number one, which is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Now we all know that the effects of pandemic has been very negative in this country or in our world. Now here, according to the uh, Sustainable Development Goal for goal number one, COVID-19 has led to the first rise in extreme poverty in a generation. An additional 119 to 124 million people were pushed back into extreme poverty in 2020. So this data is for the world. For the Philippines, it's the unemployed people went increased by 4.2 million since the start of the pandemic. So that is very high. Millions of people didn't have any jobs. So most people didn't know where to get their income. Now for the effects of the pandemic, or yes, after that we suffered Bagong Odette. So for here in our community, in our barangay, our main crops are copra, banana. We also have mungo, palay, but these two are our main crops here, and also a main source of incomes for the people here in our barangay. However, most, if not all, were destroyed by the typhoon. So that was only 3 months ago. Now, because of that, the source of income for the people are very limited. Some, let's say, are in debt since they can find any jobs or income since only these two are their sources of income. So that's where gold mining came here, entered. So this is a new source income here in our barangay. Well, not exactly new. Okay, it's been here for many years, but only a few, like five or three people, do this here in our barangay. They mine gold in our beaches and rivers. However, this is very laborious and exhausting. Now, after the bagyo or after the typhoon, the number of gold miners here increased from 3 to 5 to more than 20 people. So here you can really see what the effect of the Bagyong Adet was. So the problem. So for our problem, the source income of the people here in our barangay does not pay well and it's very hard. So this here um, is the tools used for separating the gold and the sand. As you know that gold is denser than sand, so if you pour water here, you have sand here, and if you pour water, the water goes back in the pond or pool or here in the river, and the sand also flows. So they have in mesh here or a set of clothes, sometimes towels, to catch the gold. And gold is heavier, so it will sink faster. So this is very laborious since you have to pick up water here and you know and put it or pour it in the sand so that the gold will concentrate on the towels. So during lunchtime, the people here still gather to mine gold, and sometimes they wear long sleeves, or most of the time during 10 to 1 p.m. they wear long sleeves. So manual. So another problem here is that manual work, the manual work, it's very hard. So they work about 8 hours a day and they get paid less. So I want to solve this problem using technology. So for the interviews, according to my interviews or sources, the price of gold now is 1,500 to 2,000 pesos per gram. Should be per gram. So it's very cheap. When you buy it in the market, it goes from 3,000 to 5,000 or more. So I think this is pure gold. Well, the people here don't know if it's pure, but mostly it's pure. So how many hours do they spend a day? So most of the time, they go there in groups. They go from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. So about 7 hours. Sometimes they extend or they go uh, much later than 5 a.m. because of the tides. How many days does it require to mine 1 gram of gold? Well, they don't exactly know, but this is the least amount which they can earn in a week. So for one person, the least amount she can earn in a week is 1,500. The most is 2,500. Depends on the hours she spends a day. So it's not very constant. So here we have a husband and a wife. They work together, but they only mm, get 2,500 a day a week since the wife is just assisting the husband. So we have for the people here more than 20. The average income per week is 1,500. Now, what are other expenses besides the tools used? So they use mercury to purify the gold. As we are according to chemistry, gold binds with mercury, so and not with sand. So after pouring, after all the pouring here, they wash the towel, and after they wash it, they pour mercury in the sand, and the sand or and the gold binds with the mercury. So that's how they get the gold to separate from the sand. Another question is what are the challenges encountered while doing this kind of work? So first, it is very exhausting. Uh, Sometimes they suffer sunburns or they get hot, and of course back and arm pain since they have to bend down, get water, and then stand back up. So for the solution, I am proposing a device that will not require humans to separate the gold from the sand. Hmm. I want to design this type of device which is not very far from the actual tools they use, but instead of humans doing the hard work, we will use technology and machines. So this is since they already have this, they only need a solar panel, a pump, and a hose. So instead of them doing the pouring, we will use a submersible pump, a solar panel, so that they uh, don't have to buy energy or so that energy won't cost anything. So this is my design. It's still the same, but I am proposing that this year at the top will be larger so that more sand can fit. So if even if they just leave it here for a few hours, the sand will just pour down and they can do other work. They don't have to do this manual labor. So this is the design. Now for the solution, its advantages. No work needed to gather gold dust, since we just use technology and it is pretty much automatic. The people can find other work while the tourists generate income passively. This is very good since you can just leave it there in the sand. The only problem is the thieves, but well, thieves are not very damo here, so less time is needed to collecting gold. They only need to dig a hole and fill the container with sand. So sometimes when there is no water, they dig a hole here so that when they pour the water, it goes back here. So that's why we have a pump. So for the disadvantages, the device will not run if there is no sun. It also may cost since we will use a solar panel. So it is also a new idea which some of them may not uh, consider. So that is all for my proposal. Thank you for listening.